Nancy, how are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining me on this live at Amy's Inspiration Station on the Altenew YouTube and Facebook groups. And if you share this live while we're live, you'll be entered to win a gift card to Altenew. And today we are talking about background bonanza. And I love making backgrounds, and I make backgrounds a bunch of different ways. And today I wanted to feature this new product. It's called the Modern Leaf background, and it comes with this stencil and also a press plate. And we're going to be kind of playing around with this. And then it's like, okay, great, I made backgrounds. Now what do I do with it? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'd love to know, do you have this? Are you kind of like in that thing? Do you love to make backgrounds? So let me know in the comments, are backgrounds your jam? Or are you kind of like, what the heck do I do with it? I made it now. Now what? And Han is behind the badge. Hi, Han. I hope so glad the dream team is alive and well. I'm so excited that you are here. And we have, I see Teresa and Sue. Sue, we had a fabulous day today, didn't we? The weather was awesome. It did crumble. Oh, sounds exciting, Sue, that you crumbled up paper towels to make the backgrounds. That's exciting. And Deborah's here. And Shiomara, I hope you are doing well, everybody. And Cece, good evening. I hope you are having a fabulous summer. And I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. I know today was great. I don't know if you got outside, Sue. I went out today and did a nice little hike right along the ocean. So it was a really, really fun day today and really great. And Nancy, I hope you got out too. You're probably having super fabulous weather out there, and you're along the ocean too. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I am using the press plate, but I wanted to kind of stretch it a little bit and do a couple of other things with this. All right, so let me go ahead and put my camera down. And then while I'm doing that, this would be a fabulous time to share this live while we're live. You can put that on your social media channels. You can text a friend, put it up on your Facebook, put it on Instagram, anything at all. Let them know that we're live and that this is a fabulous time for some inspiration. All right, so this is what I have down here. And hey, another Sue is here. Hello. All right, I'm so excited for you guys to be here today. And again, please, 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 we are live, and please share this live out. And you will be, and just let us know where you shared it, and you will be entered to win a gift card. And we have Han behind the badge. I'm so excited that you're here today, Han. I hope you're doing well. All right, so this Modern Leaf background, I have to say, and I hate doing this to you guys because I know you're like, Amy, this is sold out. So I just checked. Only the stencil is sold out. The press plate is still there, all right? So the press plate is available right now, and that's what we're really going to be using today. But if you wanted to wait, there's a notification button. And just notify yourself that when this comes around and it's in stock again, that you can see like, oh, then maybe I'll grab that stencil or put this on your list, etc. So Diane, you're in Texas, no, in the air conditioning. No, I can understand that. It is a little hot. August gets a little rough, I got to say, up here in the Northern Hemisphere. This is such a pretty press plate, and I think what I liked about it is the fact that it's a full background and you have these beautiful leaves, and I think it's neat that you can put all of these together. So I think I think that's personally what drew me to it. So that's what we're going to start with. So I have my better press here, and I'm going to make some backgrounds. Now, this press plate, what it will do is it's going to highlight all of the outlines. So everything that you see here that's in black, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to use a couple of different inks. And I have something secret over here I'm not going to show you guys yet, so I'm just going to hide that. But we're going to get to that in just a moment. All right. Now, I've done a live already showing you guys what to do and how to use the better press. And so if you have any questions about this, let me know, and I definitely can address those in the comments. But this is relatively easy to use. It is just a plate, so it's no machinery. There's no outlets or plugs or anything you have to put batteries into, and it doesn't do anything. But what it will do is it will take the ink on these raised edges and it will push it into the paper. So it looks really, really pretty. All right, so I got some paper here. And I'm going to grab some more. You do have to use this in conjunction with your embossing machine or your die cutting machine. So that's what that is. Cynthia, do you have this already? This Modern Leaf press? Are you loving it? Have you made a lot of projects with it? And do you have like a favorite background that you're making with it? That's what I would love to know. All right, so I have a couple of different inks I want to play with and try with this. And I'm actually not going to use black on this. I'm actually going to use emerald. And emerald is the darkest color in the seashore ink line. Thought that was pretty. And then I also want to use a gold. So I have enchanted gold. Can you use the press plate without that special tool that you laid the plate on? So Sue, special tool. This tool, do you mean this thing right here? This part comes with it, and this whole thing is so that when you purchase the press plate with the Better Press, it comes with the platen. It comes with this magnetic thing, there's shims, and then the cover here as well. Okay, yeah. So this all comes with it. So I can, however, and that's what I'm going to show you. If you hang around, I'm going to show you how to use this press plate without actually using the Better Press machine. So I got two ways I'm going to show you how to do that. So it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. So that, and Miss Tamp is here. I'm so excited you're here. And we have Teresa Conte and marble press plate for backgrounds. Oh, that must be gorgeous. That must be absolutely gorgeous. That marble press plate. I got to look at that one and maybe get that on my list. And I just realized I did a big boo-boo, but that's okay. Well, it's not a big one, but it's kind of a boo-boo, a little bit. I should have tacked my paper down first. So I'm going to do that right now. Now I'm just using this in one color. I could actually use this in a bunch of different colors. In fact, that's a good idea. I could probably try that. But we're just going to use one color. So this is the cover right now, Sue. So if you're like, what the heck am I doing with this? This is the cover. Cynthia. Oh, you waited too late, sold out. So the stencil is sold out that I just saw, but this Better Press plate is available. At least it was when I checked it 3 minutes ago. And you can always hit that notify button. This will definitely be back in stock. So you can hit that notify button and you can be notified when this is back in stock. But I thought this was cool. And so I got this in my latest Altenew shipment. I was able to grab this one. So, all right. And we got Lori. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Lori. And Sabrina. Oh, you are not too late, Sabrina. In fact, you're just in time. We just started at 3:30. We go from 3:30 to 4:30. So we have a lot of time for some fun, which is what we're going to have right now. And we are talking about backgrounds. And I'd love to know, like, what's your favorite thing? Do you like to just use a background on a card? Do you like to turn it into, tags? What is it that you like to do? All right, Sue, you ready? So then we just take this sucker and we just roll her right through. And she shifted on me, but that's all right. I'll fix that in a second. And that's it. Like I said, no plugs, no outlets, no batteries. That's it. Oh, good. Thank you so much, Han. Yeah, I figured it's going to be restocked in a little bit. And that's so nice. And they do, Sabrina, sell the Better Press on the website. And I just did a massive boo-boo and touched it on the wrong spot. But that's what you get. So what's nice about this is you're able to get that press into the paper. And except for the fact that I just smudged it, that's totally 100% on me. That's a lot of operator error there. You can see there's the crime. See, the crime right there. And that will press that into the paper. I'm going to let that dry for just a second. And Sabrina, yes. So Sabrina, if you look back at the comments, you'll see that Han put the comments in. In the comments is a link for the Better Press that we sell on the Altenew website, but you also can buy it a couple of other places. So, but this is really cute. I need to try that again because I totally smudged this. So I'm going to take this off and I'm just going to run it through again. And what's nice about this is you can use this with your existing inks. You don't really need, I know Spellbinders sells like fancy inks that they can put this with, but you can use this with just your dye inks. I like to use that. It's really pretty. So it gives you that nice look. So I'm going to put that aside for just a second. I'm going to try this again with the green because I'm loving it with the green. And I'm going to go ahead and put my paper on and try not to smudge it this time. It's because I was looking at the comments. Now, of course, I'm going to get green on my paper before I even get green on it. All right, so here we go. And this is always tricky with these backgrounds is I am going to eventually cut this down. So I will be okay, but I do want to make sure that this is down. Oh, thank you so much, Marianne. for sharing this to Facebook. Oh, Deborah. So I'm just using a Nina Solar White, and this is 100 pound. That's what I'm using. And you do want to use, I probably should use paper that's a little bit thicker, but this is just the one that I grabbed right now. Because the thicker paper that you use, it can really, really get in there for that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do this again. So I'm going to ink this up again with the emerald ink. And you could use, I could actually use the whole set and do like a kind of a ombre look, but I'm just going to stick with this for right now. It's really quick. And then after this, I'm going to go with gold. And I'm only redoing this because I smudged it the first time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying though, Cece. They end up in the backgrounds that end up in piles. Mine do too. And sometimes I have to go in there and be like, all right, Amy, you know, let's grab those out. What can we do with these things? So that's what I want to talk about today, is what the heck we can do. Now I'm just pulling this back because of the fact that I have an obstruction in the way, so I can't grab it. So I just pulled it back. But you don't need to. And Marianne, this is such a pretty press plate. I really love it. Okay, now this time I won't touch it. You know, we'll come up. There we go. No smudging. Much better. Pull these off. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just set this over to dry. There we go. So love that green. And I like the fact that you can use all these different kind of colors with it. All right, I'm just going to stick that over to the side. And if you're just joining us, we are talking background bonanza, and I'm using the modern leaf background. And this is the press plate and also the stencil. And right now the stencil is out of stock, but I believe the press plate is in. And I'm just going to grab, this is just the Altenew stamp cleaner. I love this stuff. It's amazing. You really just need some water, but I'm just going to clean this up real quick, and I'm not going to do it on here because I'm going to get ink everywhere. And I really do use this. I'm just really fastidious about cleaning my stuff. You could run this under water, and this will clean up real quick. I'm just using the stamp cleaner to make sure that it's nice and clean. Everything's off. And that Altenew stamp cleaner it's the best. It really is. I tried a lot of different brands, and it really is the best in my opinion. Oh, that would be nice. You know, Teresa, this, if you did this, in fact, I have an example of a watercolor that I just foiled with this. And Marianne, it does have a stencil. So there is a coordinating stencil, and I'm going to show that once I get all these backgrounds done. But you don't have to use, obviously, the stencil with it, but it does have a coordinating stencil. And the stencil is pretty simple. What the stencil will do is it will color in the leaves and darken up the stems. So you could use the stencil by itself if you wanted to. And Barbara, this totally, you don't need to use, in fact, I'll show you guys some other methods with the press plates. So you can get a really similar look. In fact, I did a live, I think it was a little bit ago. If you go back on the Altenew YouTube website, I did a live using the butter press with the sweet jasmine, and I showed some other ways to get a similar look without having the butter press, if you don't have the butter press system. So stay tuned. I'll show you a couple of different things you can do. Okay, so I'm going to try this now with gold. So I have that enchanted gold. It's right here. And I just want to see how this looks with that. In fact, I think I'm going to take a minute, because somebody asked me that question about using some thicker paper. And I'm just going to grab some watercolor paper. So I just have some watercolor paper here, and I'll grab that and put that out. All right. And this really will allow that ink to settle into the paper and into those paper fibers. Okay. And if you do get the better press system, it actually comes with some heavyweight stock. And of course, my hands are dirty. I just got this. So I'm going to start this on another side. Good thing paper has two sides. That's because I smudged it. So Yeah, Karen, this is, oh, great, Marianne. Yeah, that's all you need to do is just hit that notify button. And as soon as it comes in, and like Han had said, it will come in like 2 to 3 weeks, it'll be restocked. And I think this one, like, I really like to buy things that are timeless, right? That I know will go with a lot of different things. And I feel like this modern leaf background is like that. But this is something that I know I'm going to use for a long time. It doesn't go out of style and whatnot. And Karen, you can definitely use your ink. It does come, the Better Press comes with like a Better Press ink, but that's a permanent ink. I found it's kind of hard to clean up afterwards. And, but you can use pigment ink, which is what I have here. You can use dye ink as well, and that will go right into the paper. Just make sure that before you play with it or use it or do anything, just make sure you're giving it some time to dry and really get that ink to settle in. Sometimes on some projects, I'll even like make a bunch and then I just set them aside and then just wait one more day. Okay, I'm really layering this in, and it may be hard to see, and I apologize, and it's just because it's the enchanted ink color. Antique is the other ink, the gold pigment ink that we sell. And then there's a rose gold as well, which is gorgeous, but I'm using the enchanted gold. All right, so that's it. And then I'm putting this in. All right, so I'm gonna roll this through. And Barbara, if you used the Better Press plate as if you are embossing with a die, you can get a really similar look. And so that way you can have the products and it really kind of pushes what these things are. So if you're like, I don't need the Better Press system, like I need another thing, you can get a similar look with it. Oh, look how pretty. Just putting that up there. Nice, huh? So nice. And I do, Karen, because I'm all over the place with my inking, but I like to just let it dry for a second, just to make sure that you're giving that time, just giving that ink a little bit of time just to dry and go in there. So we are going live, and we're going till 4:30, or my time anyway, from 3:30 to 4:30, Altenew time. And it would be great if you could share this, that we are live on Facebook and on YouTube. If you could share the link with somebody that you know, either in your social media or in text message or chat, and say, hey, there's some awesome inspiration that's happening right now. And we'd love it if you could join. And if you do that and let us know that you have shared this, we have Han, who is behind the badge today, and she will be announcing a winner of a gift card. And if you're interested in getting this Better Press plate, this is the modern leaf, hit that notify button and you'll be notified when this comes in. Again, the plate is in, but as far as I know, the plate's in, but the stencil is out of stock, but it will be coming in very, very soon. So just in time for you to do some gorgeous, wouldn't this be beautiful as an autumn? Like if we did this in autumn colors. Of course, I can't think autumn right now because it's August and it's still summertime, right, Cece? It's still summertime. And that this is really super nice to do that one. All right, so I just cleaned this off, and I'm just going to clean the platen here. I'm just going to clean this sucker off. And I'm so glad. Who just ordered the stamp cleaner? Cynthia did. Cynthia, you will love it. I'm telling you, you won't go back. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad Amy told me to buy this, because it's really, really the best. Okay, so I'm just going to put this aside for right now because I got a couple of backgrounds. So let's see what I did. So what I have right now, and this was using the Better Press plate, I have this one that I did with the gold enchanted ink. Let me pull this down just a little bit. And then I have this one that I did with the emerald ink. And again, this is with the modern leaf press plate. And so this is that modern leaf press plate. Really, really super pretty. And these are ready. I could use them as is because I actually... It feels like autumn. No, Cece, it's not. You're not allowed to have autumn yet. So this is so pretty, I think, just as is. But you actually can put this together with the coordinating stencil. And I'm going to show you what that looks like a little bit here. Now, with the press plate, besides using it in the Better Press machine, you actually can foil with it. And so I did this off camera before I came on because I wanted to show you guys a similar look. And I actually, it's my extra paper, I was looking for that. I foiled with this. And so this is foiled with Enchanted Gold foil. And I just wanted to show you how pretty that is. Really, really. Oh, yes, Han can do that. And it is in there as well. Hey, Karen. Yes, Diane, and you absolutely can. So this is the foil. Oh, there we go. I hate this because I wish you guys could be here in the studio. I'm sure you guys wish you could be here in the studio with me too. And so you can see that foil. I'm trying to catch it right in the light, but this Enchanted Gold, it's really pretty. And so I just wanted to compare the Enchanted Gold ink versus the foil, and you get a really similar look with it. So this is with the Better Press machine and the ink, and then this is with the foil, and really, really super nice. Thank you, Han. And I also used rose gold. So there's a beautiful array of metallic colors, and they're coming out with new foils, which is so pretty. And then this is with the rose gold. So it's just a little bit pinker than the Enchanted Gold. So the Enchanted Gold is more yellow, and the rose gold just has a little pink tint to it. So I just wanted to show those to you. So that's with foil. So that's with foil. Oh, yes, Teresa. The foil. In fact, they just came out with some new foils. I have to put them on my list. I haven't done it yet, but so excited for those. Now, someone had said back about doing like watercolor backgrounds. And if you were with me last Monday, I was playing around with watercolor and watercolor sets. And I had, just kind of made a watercolor background that honestly had been sitting on my desk for an entire week. So I foiled it. And so I used the Enchanted Gold foil, and I foiled this. So I'm going to cut this down and kind of cut this pink out. I don't like this, and this is a little too kind of crazy, but it certainly did. Yeah, Karen, I just like playing around. This is great. Have you ever used stencils without the press plate for outlines? I'm going to try that right now, Barbara, and see how that goes. And but I love the foil with it. So that was just some options. If you have this, you can play around with this as well. All right, so that's some backgrounds, and now what we're going to do is we're going to play around with some stuff. So I'm going to grab the stencil, and I actually want to stencil this right here, and this is in Emerald. So Emerald is the Seashore ink line, and that comes with this really beautiful array of these like tealy greens, and I really love Seashore. And in my latest Altenew order, I actually got the Seashore washi tape set. I know you can like, oh, it's kind of blue, but that's versus like the tops of these look really, really super green, but that's how it is. All right. So I'm going to do this, Barbara. I'm going to show stenciling with this, and I'm going to go show stenciling on its own. Okay. And we're going to do a similar kind of look. All right. So that's all over there. And yeah, I love the foil. That was Cynthia over there, just making sure. And I agree with Marianne. I do hope they have some Christmas stuff coming out for the hot foil. But keep a lookout for those. All right, so this really just has two stencils. There is a stencil which is just the leaves, and then a stencil that has the coordinating branches. And that's all this set has. It's just the leaves and the branches. So I'm going to play around with this one right here. I'm going to put this guy to the side. And I'm just going to stencil over. And this is dry now. So, and by the way, I took a moment and just kind of cleaned off my hands. And actually, I'm going to keep this tape down. Let's keep this here. And I'm just going to stencil with this. So this is stencil 1. I hope to heck, I don't know how this lines up. Oh my gosh, Karen, does Altenew ever do Halloween images? I haven't seen them so much, Sue. I think they try to keep it a little bit more general, to be honest. Excuse me. All right, there we go. I was upside down. Okay, there we go. So I'm just going to stencil this with these colors. And I'm going to keep it a little bit light, and I want to do a little bit of an ombre effect. I'm actually not going to go to Emerald because Emerald, I used it for the background, for the leaf venation. So I'm just going to keep it a little bit on the lighter side. All right, this looks pretty good. Okay, and here we go. I'm just going to test out my brush just to see what the heck is on it. All right, I'm clean. We're good. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stencil this. I'm going to start out with the mountain mist, and all I'm going to do is just start up top, and I'm just going to start to color these in. I'm just giving a really quick background look. Curious to see how this looks as well with this. And again, you can use just the stencil if you wanted to. You wouldn't end up with the venation pattern of this, but you could definitely use the stencil with this. And Barbara, we'll play around with the stencil in just a second, just to kind of get a different look with it. I saw on the website somebody had done a like rainbow with this. I actually want to do this with some autumn colors, so I might pull out some fall harvest colors and play around with those, because I think this would be really pretty for seasonal stuff. That's what I meant, that this was so timeless with this. Okay, so this is just one layer of color, but you can see how pretty that looks with it. Really, really super nice. Okay, so that's just mountain mist. I'm going to grab the volcano lake, excuse me. And I'm just going to come in and just start to kind of put some color. I'm going to stay away from that top. Just want to see how this looks. I'm realizing that these leaves are a little bit too small. I was going to do some variation within the leaves, but I think they're a little too small for my brush. I would have needed the detail brush, which I don't have. And I'm just going to do the lagoon down here. All right. I love this because I love it when everything coordinates. And as Karen had mentioned, the colors, like Altenew just makes this so easy because everything works together. And I think that that's great. And if you're just joining us, please share this live while we're live. We have Han behind the badge today, and she will be choosing a winner at the end of our live. And so just this really nice look. And I was going for a graduation pattern where we go from the light to medium to dark. And I just like this as is. I'm just going to keep this as is, but this would be really nice. We can chop this up, do a couple of other things with it, but I'm just going to keep this as is. And I want to try one other thing because I'm keeping, as you can tell, I'm kind of trying to keep this as monochromatic. All right, there we go. I'm just going to wipe off my table here. And I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. It's really, really super pretty. Purchase of washi tape versus using painter's tape. Honestly, Sabrina, I have to say, I find that painter's tape, it just depends on the tackiness of it. And with washi tape, I find that it doesn't pull my paper as much. That's, I think, for me at least, the difference. And then washi tape, I'm actually going to use this in just a second as a design element. And I think that that's kind of neat that you can use it in two of those places. By the way, someone should have told me to let this sit for a second because I'm getting all over myself again. I need to start wearing gloves when I craft. Does anybody wear like gloves when they craft? I get stuff all over me all the time. Okay, so there we go. All right, so there, I'm just gonna take this and put this to the side because I'm getting stuff on me right now. But we'll get it, we'll be okay, I promise. All right, so I'm gonna do a little kind of TV magic. No to gloves, but Sue, How many of you guys walk around with ink all over your hands? This right here, you can see on the bottom, this is the Sweet Jasmine stamp set. And the Sweet Jasmine set, and this is a set that I used 2 weeks ago, I think, or a couple of weeks ago on a live, is really great. It comes with a press plate. It comes with a stamp set, a stencil, and an embossing folder and a die set. Really great, the fact that you're getting everything with this, and that this is a you know, this is so cool, but I got to tell you, I really fell in love with these sentiments. I love the font. I love the size. They're just under an inch tall. I think that they're great. And so this washi tape is an inch, has an inch width to it. It's really, really super nice. And by the way, did you know that you can emboss on it? That's right. You can emboss on it. And that's really great too. Yeah, I know, Teresa, like gloves can, there's, unless I'm protecting a manicure, no gloves. All right, CC. Yeah. So Karen, if you're, yeah, and exactly, like there's some, and that's what we're doing here, Sabrina. So I'm going to grab this and I'm just going to pull this off my paper. And this is kind of a sacrificial piece of paper. But what I did is I just put this washi tape onto my paper so that way I could stamp on it and emboss on it, just to give it a little bit of a back. And I think I just popped some off. Oh, that did not work. Oh, I'm so sad. Okay, don't do that, kids. Don't try that at home. We're going to do this a different way. Sorry. Of course, everything that's on live always happens. It's terrible, but we'll move on. All right, so what I wanted to do, ultimately where we're getting to, is I'm going to grab a piece of tape. Let's try that again. So I'm going to grab the seashore tape, and I'm actually going to grab the darkest of the colors, which obviously is the emerald. And I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to put this right across the bottom. I was trying to transfer it. So chainmail. Whoa, that is, whoa. I know, plan B, Barbara, plan B. This just goes to show you that sometimes, even when you think you got it, it sometimes just doesn't work. And that's okay. That's okay. But I'm liking this monochromatic look. Okay, so I'm going to put this down, and I'm just using my grid mat, and this is the Altenew grid mat, and I love it because it's got this middle part to it, which I think is really, really cool. So I'm just going to put that right down. And again, I'm going for this monochromatic look. That was my whole intent here. And I'm just going to bring this right up. I'm just going to fold that washi tape back. So even that blue, it just goes so pretty with that one. Yeah, exactly. Right, Nancy? The joy of alive. The joy of alive. All right, so here's my stamp wheel. And I think I still have the stamp in here. So it might actually work. I've got to move it though. And I make a lot of thanks cards. I don't know what type of cards you guys make, or like what's the majority of the card that you make, but I do a lot of thanks cards. A lot to be thankful for. So I try to send out a lot of those ones. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Sabrina. I love doing this when it's live too. All right, so I'm just going to take this and put this right in. You can do this. Just don't rip the tape up after you're done with it. Make sure this is it. This is the final. That's all you're going to do is with this. So I'm going to use the Altenew white embossing powder. And again, please share this. We still have a little bit of inspiration left. And please share this live while we're live, and you could be entered to win a gift card. We have the absolutely fabulous Han is behind the badge today, and I'm so excited to be teaming up with her. All right, so this is just embossing ink. So I'm just adding some embossing ink to this, and I'm going to put this right down. Tried my best to line that up in the middle. You're pretty good. And oh, thinking of you, Barbara. That's nice. Birthday and thinking of you cards. And hi, Kathy. I'm so glad you're there. Yes, you could definitely die cut letters and glue onto the washi. You absolutely could do that. So, and thank you so much, Sarah. This is the modern leaf background press plate. And so we just pressed it in using an emerald green ink into the background. And then I used the stencil to stencil over it. And I'm just adding some washi on here, and I'm stamping, and then I am going to be embossing on top of the washi. All right, so I'm going to use the pure white. I'm just putting that right on there. Oh, look at that. I even got some white on my background. So I want to take that off. This is why I had tried it with the tape ahead of time, but that's okay. We're just pivoting, not a problem. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and heat set that. You do want to make sure your gun is nice and hot. Your heat gun is nice and hot, and you want to make sure we're not leaving it on too long, etc. So I'm just going to put this in and then we are good to go. And then I'm going to put this right onto a card, and that is our first background. Oh yeah, right, Kathy? It is addicting. I agree. Love card making. It's nice too because I like making something that has a purpose to it. And then you can send it out. And it's like a little piece of art, you know, and your heart goes into it versus just kind of picking something out. I think it's nice. It has a little touch to it. All right, so there we go. So isn't that pretty? So it's nice and bright and white. And then on that Altenew, the Seashore, the washi tape set, I think that just really, really goes really well with that. So if you're like, what the heck do I do with all of this washi? It's really great because you can do stuff like this. And again, just don't take it off the paper because that's going to come off. But that looks really, really cute. So this can go right onto a card front. I'm just going to see what it looks like with the white. Oh, yeah, I want to keep it that way. This would be pretty if we did a gold behind it, but I think I'm going to keep it white on white. I was going to put some emerald ink, but like I said, I think I'm going to keep it white on white. And ink. All right, and then we're going to play around with the stencil in just a second. So I'm going to do that really quickly, Barbara, just to kind of see what we can do with that stencil. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, and then I'm just shoving this sucker right on. And we're all set. Okay, how cute is that? So this is, again, that modern leaf background press plate with a little bit of the stencil. So pretty. Right, Sue? It looks nice with the white on white. Oh my gosh, Sarah. Thank you so much, hon. And it's nice with that sentiment. I really encourage you to take a look at that Sweet Jasmine set. The sentiments here are just fabulous. I love the size of them, and they're really versatile with a lot of different things. And I like the white on white, and I like that kind of monochromatic color. So it's really, really pretty that way. All right. So Barbara, now we're just going to try and play with the stencil, and then I got one more thing I want to do. So let me clean off this stencil. And so for those of you who are like, yeah, I don't have a better press plate, might not be using it, et cetera, I'm going to take a moment. So I'm just taking my cloth. It already had that Altenew stamp cleaner on it, which, by the way, if you haven't tried yet, is just absolutely fabulous. And I'm going to take this, and I'm going to start just by, Barbara, we'll really, oh, great, Sue. Yeah, try it out. Just don't take it off the paper. That doesn't work. So not super great with that. Okay, so I'm going to take this press plate, and we're going to try, this is for you, Barbara, coming your way. And I'm going to emboss with this. So I'm just going to grab my machine. And I think I want to use some gold. So I'm going to put this down. So when you emboss with a press plate, you want to use this as if you're embossing with the die. So based on my machine, I have to put my platen down. So this big, huge platform. Then I'm going to place this on it, then my paper, my tan embossing mat, and then I have an embossing plate. And whatever it is that yours would be what you would want to use. But I want to add a little ink to this. So I'm actually going to grab that same, actually, you know what, let's really go crazy. You ready for this, hon? We're going crazy right now. I'm going to grab the rose gold and put that on here. So heat gun necessary for this craft. So Sabrina, the heat gun is a necessary tool. And I have to tell you, if I could share a lesson that I learned the hard way, is buy the good one. I bought like a cheap one initially, and I should not have, because that was just a bad idea. But buy the good one. And so if you get into, it does help with dry time. But really what this does, this is rose gold ink right now, by the way. What the heat gun does, if you want to move into embossing, so you saw me use the embossing powder, that needs a heat tool. I know old school, they used to put it in an oven and all that kind of stuff, but it really does need a heat tool. in order to melt that embossing powder. Embossing powder is just like a powder, like a plasticky powder. And when you use it, you can really make sentiments pop. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it, resisting, a lot of techniques. If you check out Sabrina, if you're kind of, yeah, exactly. Sue's like way back in the day, using toaster ovens and etc. Okay, so I just inked that up. I'm just placing that right on my platform, and then I'm just going to put a piece of paper right over it, and I'm going to put this on. My favorite thing to do is to emboss, and I can't, it's very, very, I love it. It's magic. It's awesome. And if you go to the Altenew YouTube channel, we have a lot of amazing videos for you to use. And then there's also this one called, if you go to the website there, if you look under classes, it might be under freebies. Oh boy. Sorry, pausing. Oh, that one was rough. You go to Altenew Academy, and we have, there's some paid classes, but there's also some free classes, and they have like a Crafting 101 series, which would be great. So Barbara, that's what you can do. You see that? That's just that's just embossing with it. So you have this really, really pretty look to it. And it does really press into the paper. So you do not need the better press machine. It's just all different looks. It's all kind of what you're interested in to do with it. All right. So I'm going to grab the stencil, and I actually want to grab, where is my, I'm going to grab the Fall Harvest inks. I'm going to grab, so I have a little Martian Terrain, and I have some Fall Harvest. They're hiding somewhere. And let me grab a little warm and cozy. And I'm going to do this moss. I'm going to do a little fall one, okay? And so you can actually get a really similar look with this with just with something a little bit different. Now, if I didn't want to use the plate at all, I would use this stencil, and this stencil does the branches. But since I did the plate, I don't really need to do the branches. So I'm just going to take this, and let me go ahead and put this down. And then we're just going to go in, and we're going to do this. I'm going to do a similar thing. I just want to make it kind of a fall looking card. So on that one. All right. And the look I was going for that I was about to do was to do a gatefold card. So I can take this one and turn it into a gatefold card, because I thought that would be kind of neat. All right, so I am going to start with some of this. The one color I need is not in there. All right. Burnt red. All right, I'm just going to grab a little bit of burnt red. When I'm thinking fall, Martian Terrain and Fall Harvest are like the color sets that I really, really think about. So I really think that that's neat. All right, so I'm just going to grab this, and I'm just going to, again, just put in a little bit of ink. You notice I'm taking a lot of this off. Burnt red is a really, really dark color, but it is so super pretty. So super pretty. And I think with the rose gold, because the rose gold is not like, it's really, really super bright and in your face. So I think it ends up looking really, really nice. And again, we're talking about the Modern Leaf background press plate and what we can do with it. So with the press plates, although with the better press system, it's really, really makes it nice and easy. You also can emboss with them, and you can foil with them. And that is kind of the cool thing that you can do with them. All right, so that's my burnt red. I'm going to move over to add some Fall Harvest. Oh yeah, there's also a retreat. Han, can we put the October retreat up? Because that would be a great thing if you're starting out. The retreats that Altenew does are so great, and it's 12 hours of crafty fun. We have 6 classes. You get all the products that are in there, and it's a really great value, in my opinion, for what you get. And is anybody signed up for the October retreat? That's going to be super fun. It's the Warm and Cozy retreat. We have a fabulous lineup of instructors that are coming in. I'm really excited about it. I think that would be great. And that's for anyone. Like if you're starting out or you're looking for some more inspiration, or you know what, you just want to kind of hang out on a Saturday from 9 to 9, come and hang out with us at the Cozy Retreat. Come and hang out with us. We'd love to see you there. Play around with some crafty stuff, learn some new techniques. The last one we had in May was super awesome. Loved it. All right, so this is from Warm and Cozy, and I'm just grabbing the third color of each one. And again, I'm taking a lot of ink off and then just going right in to make this little fall card. I don't have the washi, but I'll show you guys what I was going to do. Oh, actually, I have an idea what that I'm going to do with this to finish off this little sentiment. Okay, so I'm going to pull this off now just to show you what this would look like. But you can see that now with that color. Isn't that pretty? So, so pretty. Oh, great, Sabrina, you started on. Kathy, spent too much money lately on crafting. If you're ready, oh, great, Teresa, this is your first one. You're going to love it. The next retreat, if you miss this one, we have one in March and then one in May and one in October. And those are great. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that great for some fall colors? And it'd be so nice to kind of cut this up, put this in tags and whatnot, but it's really, really pretty. So it's just nice what you can do. And when you think, using color as that feeling, I think it's great to think about color in some different ways. And that's, again, what I love about Altenew is they make the color sets so easy. All right, so that's that one. All right, I'm going to play around. All right, what do you think, Barbara? Pretty neat, right? So again, similar look. I'm going to show all the backgrounds, and then I'm going to make one more card for you guys today. There's one other little technique I'm going to do with you guys. Getting a lot out of me today. A lot going on. All right. But I really like this. I think it's pretty. Just thinking fall. I don't know, Cece. I don't know if you're... Cece is already starting on fall. Her fall is already starting. All right. So again, we're talking about the modern leaf background. So that's one of the cards that we made. And then I grabbed some backgrounds. So I used, this is just using the press plate. I could have even done it this way. Look how pretty that is because you can get it on either side. This is with the Enchanted Gold ink, which I think this is going to be the one I want to use. And then I also foiled with it. And I think the foiling is really, really pretty. And then if you have like a background, that like an inking, like I used some watercolor pens in order to make this background. This is really nice too. And then of course, this is just with the emerald ink. So you have this modern leaf background. Really great. That's the press plate. And then there's also a coordinating stencil. And if we're sold out, just hit that notify button and this will be restocked really quickly. And you can get that in and start playing with it just in time for some fall cards. Now I'm pairing this up with sentiments from the Sweet Jasmine bundle. And what I did, because the Sweet Jasmine bundle comes with a press plate, is I actually used the Enchanted Gold foil and I foiled these. So this is foiling that's coming off of the Sweet Jasmine press plates, which I think is really neat. And all I have to do is use the coordinating dies to pull these out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And just run this through my die cutting machine and die cut these for you guys. All right. And we are talking backgrounds today. So we made one card with backgrounds. And what I did was I just made that like a nice monochromatic color and used some washi tape. And I went ahead and used some white embossing powder on that washi tape. This is the You're So Sweet. That one goes up there. And I like this one. I just stamp everything out and then I can just put it all together. I really like that as well on here. Okay. All right. And the next thing I want to do is I'm going to make a gatefold card. And I like gatefold cards because you can take the background apart and cut it up into pieces. Also, the other thing I like to do is to make tags. I like to do that as well. All right, so I'm just going to roll this through my die cutting machine. All right, and again, I can get all of these done at one time, which is awesome. And I'm going to do this off camera just because my crafting space is getting a little tight in there. Okay, this is not going through. Oh, you know why? Because I have my plate still in there. So that is the press plate. And like I showed, you can use it with the Better Press machine, or you can use it on its own, like I showed you as well. It's a really versatile. You can use it with foil. You can foil with it, which is neat, which is really cool. So there's just a couple of these. So there's my hello, sweet friend, my little thanks so very much. And again, this is all coming off of the Sweet Jasmine, and my You're So Sweet. That did come out okay. Is right there. So I love that. Okay, just to put those in there. All right. What I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to put this one aside, and I'm going to grab my, actually I'm going to grab my rose gold foil. So this is my rose gold foil. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to take that stencil again, and I'm going to use the same color combination with the Seashore ink set. And so I'm going to quickly just go ahead and ink this up. Now, this time I don't have that emerald, so it is just the just this here. So I am going to do the same thing though, and I'm going to start out with the Mountain Mist. All right. Oh, Kathy, I'm so glad. Are the press plate backgrounds indented so you can turn one of them over so you can see? I will show you. No, they are not. So it's just on one side. So one side is flat and the other one is has the printing or the design on it. All right. So one side's flat and one side of them has the design. And oh, thanks so much, Linda. I'm so glad. And how the stencils look without a press plate at all. All right. Great. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm just going to go really quickly. I did not do a fabulous job of cleaning off my stamp, so I mean my stencil, so we will see how this goes. And I don't know, Barbara, I'll show you the packaging so you can see. And there's some pictures online if you go and you take a look. But if you look at the packaging, the only difference, it's going to look pretty similar, except you won't see the lines of the leaves. So the leaves will look a little flat on that one. That's going to be probably the big difference on it if you don't end up using the press plate at all. Ooh, that seashore is juicy. All right, so I'm doing that same thing, getting a little ombre effect. And again, I'm going to turn this into a gatefold card. I like gatefolds. They're just a little bit different. Just has a little bit of difference to them. All right, and I'm just going to do a little bit of emerald here on the bottom just to get it a little bit darker. Now, what I did is I took my washi tape from the washi tape set, and I put it on a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and that's going to make my belly band for this. So look how pretty that is. I got a little crazy because my a couple of these things were a little juicy and my stencil moved, but we're going to cut those pieces off. We're going to be okay. Hit that one. No boo-boos. Oh, turn over the background piece. Oh, okay. Absolutely. So the background piece, obviously the one that I put through the better press plate doesn't have anything on the back. And the one that I put through using my embossing machine does. Can you see that texture on there, Sue? Which is neat that you have that. And then you can actually take the stencil and line. You'd have to use the back side of the stencil, if that makes sense, like the back side of it. And we can actually take this and line this up, and you could actually stencil this side if you wanted to. So if you wanted that raised piece instead of, so this is indented and that's raised. So you could do that either way. Okay. So just letting that kind of sit and dry for just a second. I'm going to grab a Gatefold card base. So I already have this made. And when you do a Gatefold card, each one of these sides is 2 1/8. Because remember that this is 4 1/4 all the way across. So each one of these is 2 1/8. So you can take your card. I'm not cutting any of this off, but you can take your card and we're just going to cut this right in half on the long way at 2 1/8. And that's going to give me exactly the sizes that I need. So my little machine here, it only goes to 2 1/4. So I have to kind of guesstimate this a little bit. So I think that looks like it's 2 1/8. I also could use a ruler, but you know. I am really inky today. I think what's neat about the better press itself is the fact that it just has this indented look to it. So if you end up getting the better press plates, that's all you would do, is just have that look to it. So it looks like the ink, it's like a wedding invitation. That's the way I can kind of think about it the best, is it's a wedding invitation where you have that press look. And what's neat is you can get a similar look if you do things like I showed you today with using your embossing machine and pressing into the paper. So that's the kind of thing. I am all over the place inking, but we will get this done, right, Han? We will get this done. I got 2 minutes, guys. All right, so I'm just going to show you another little technique. So I'm just putting this right on the edge. And if my paper's a little bit over, because I'm lining it up with the opening, I can just cut off the ends. If you know you made a mistake on your measurements or your math, but I think I did okay here. All right, good. All right, so there's my Gatefold card. Really nice and pretty, the fact that you have that, and it kind of separates and opens it. And now you're like, okay, well, you need a sentiment, Amy. Where am I doing with that? So what I did is I grabbed a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and this is like an index stuff. This is like an index stuff. Thanks, Han. And I can actually use this. So this is just the washi tape from the Seashore washi tape set. And again, it's so nice to have this kind of a thing. And I can take this and I'm just going to bend this right over here. Now I can stamp on this. I can do the same thing where I have the vellum, like I did here on the card, and I can actually heat emboss on this. But what I'm going to do instead, because I already have these foiled, is I'm just going to add my sentiment on here. All right, so I'm just going to put that right on here. And I have a bone folder that I'm just going to grab and just go ahead and put in. And just a couple of things I like to do with my backgrounds. All right, so a little belly band, except that's not working. My tape is not sticking. No. Plan B. I will fix that later. All right, so here's my little belly band. And so that's made up out of the washi tape. And that's kind of cool, right? So now you have this, oh yeah, Sue, this would be great as a Z-fold card. And then I can just take my little sentiment and just put that right on my card. So just a couple of ideas for the modern, modern leaf background, press plate, and stencil. And I encourage you to take a look at your products and see how you can push them forward and think about doing different things with them. So those are the 2 cards we made today. Nice little monochromatic cards. I did this background that's getting ready for fall, but I'm not ready for it yet. So that's here that you can actually use your machine in order to do that, which is really cool. And with those press plates, especially this modern leaf background one, use them in your foil machine. And so this is foiled. This is using the enchanted gold ink, so pretty. And this is foiled, and I had already done the background. So I'm so great that you learned a couple of things, Irene, and I hope everybody else did. And thank you guys so much for taking the time out to be here today and taking some time for yourself and saying, hey, you know what? I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to add this to my craft. And we love it when you share your ideas. And Karen, I'm so excited that you're going off to buy. Don't forget to put that. I shouldn't tell you this because I want it all for myself, but don't forget to put that stamp cleaner in your cart for that one. So thank you guys so much for being here today. And Han, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we were able to spend this hour. And I'm so excited that I was able to spend that hour with you today. So please share your designs with #Altenew and let us know what you've been doing with these products. We love to see that. And thank you guys, everybody, for letting Altenew take a moment to help you craft your life. All right, I will see you guys later. Have an absolutely fabulous day.